laser pointers, stabilizers, and holographic scopes. More than just the pistol or rifle you choose, attachments are the way in which players can add additional customization options to their FPS weapon of choice. And recently, the Actor Feature team has improved the way in which you can manage these prerogatives of yours through the use of a new 3D interface built using our building blocks tech. It gives new life to the phrase, "There are many weapons like it, but this one is yours."
So, we've got a new feature coming to 3.9, and that is the weapon attachment UI, along with a couple of new bearing optics attachments as well. So, to use the UI, you can go into a new customized interaction on the weapon. If you enter this, you should be presented with this, so you get a inspect style view of your weapon, and you can see all of the attachment points on here as well. So you've got your optics slot, your underbarrel slot, and your barrel slot as well. So if we just go into the underbarrel slot here, you can see that we've got a nice little line drawing your eye to where the attachment's going to attach to, and then if you start mousing over the attachments, they will draw in as like a hologram preview for you to look at. It's worth noting as well that what you are seeing right here is work in progress, so a few things will change for 3.9, like we'll have some individual icons for each attachment here, so you'll be able to tell what each attachment is before you even mouse over them, which will be nice. And you may see a couple of bugs with the bearing scopes, but they will be all ironed out for release, I'm sure. So as soon as you click on one of these, it loads onto the weapon, so no need to edit your weapon attachments in the mobiGlass. You can actually physically interact with your weapon and get them on there instead now. So yeah, we can do this with the barrel attachments as well. So again, yeah, we get all of the previews, so you can see which is which, kind of how big they are on the weapon, what they look like. So if we just equip the flash hider here, and then if we go and look at the scopes, we've got all of our MV-TAC scopes which are already in game, and then we've got a couple of the bearing ones. So here's the 1x holographic, the 2x holographic, 3x holographic, and the reflex scope as well. So if I just aim down sight with this, you can kind of get an idea for what the reticle looks like. I'll just use one of the holographic ones so you can see one of the slightly more complex ones as well. This one here. Obviously these are work in progress, so we're still working through some of these, but yeah, there we go. I'll show you what this looks like on a assault rifle as well. So if we go into the customize mode, we can add an underbarrel attachment. Our barrel attachments are all here, and you can see every time we click on one of these, it puts it in nice view so you can see what's going on. And here's one of the, I think this is the bearing ×4 size 2 scope as well. So at the moment, this has basically just been all built in building blocks. So this has all been done by designers and coders currently, with a little bit of support from UI as well. So it's due a full UI art pass to properly unify it with the full stasis and menus that we've got in game at the moment. So like the new pit wheel that we've got and everything. So we're still due that at the moment. We'd also like to change these to actually have full 3D holo previews of each item in here, which sadly we couldn't get done in time for 3.9. We also want to fully unify the customize mode with the inspect mode. So as you can see, the pose is very similar in the inspect mode. You can also move the weapon around yourself and take a look at everything. Eventually we would like to have all of the interaction points on here to click on and interact with in the same way that you just saw in the interaction mode, but actually have the two modes unified here instead. We would also eventually, down the line, and it's probably one of the last things that we'll do, is every time you swap one of these attachments over, rather than it just disappearing and appearing on the weapons, we'll take away the old attachment and put it in our bag and then put the new one on top as well. So yeah, that's what we've got coming for 3.9 and what's coming in the future as well.
As we wrap up this quarterly season of Inside Star Citizen, we couldn't leave without exploring one of Alpha 3.9's biggest new additions, the high-tech wonderland known as New Babbage. So we put a call out to Frederick and Yusi, the principal level designer and senior environment artist who led the team to create our newest LZ, and had them discuss what sets this oasis among the snow and ice apart from every landing zone before it.
Okay, Fred, you want to have a nice conversation about New Babbage?
Yeah, man. Let's talk.
Alright, the spaceport. Welcome to New Babbage.
Yeah, welcome to Microtech's capital. I really like the spaceport. I like what we did here. The decision, I think, to move it outside the city was a good decision, just so players have an easier time finding it, first of all, and also landing there because there's no structures near it.
Yeah, it's good focus, just letting you in quick, and then once you're in, this atrium puts you right in touch with where you're going, so we have transit running out into the city, like a design that whatever's going on outside, you're going to be well aware of that when you're in the spaceport. And the same with transit. I think it's very nice that we've gone for a lot of windows and a lot of open spaces. You're going to travel 24 kilometers, sure, but you're going to feel that journey. You're not just going to go into a tunnel and reappear somewhere else.
No, you feel connected to the exterior and it looks beautiful. And you're right, of course, there's still quite a few meters, to cover, but it also goes very fast. This is a high-tech location. We could build this really high-tech bullet train that goes at very high speeds, and you can get anywhere pretty quickly and easily because the transit system, the network, is fairly simple and easy to navigate.
I think the Commons are so successful in making you feel like it's a space where people just hang out and do whatever they want between, on their lunch breaks or before work.
Yeah, I love the NPCs running around and doing exercises. It's very tech campus, Silicon Valley, that kind of vibe. There are these healthy places where players can pick up, food and beverages to regenerate.
Yeah, we went for that with the design, like, get you what you need. Do you want to run? Go. Do you want a yoga? Go. Do you want a sandwich? It's like it's all there, like in a little hub. Kind of in contrast to the plaza, which we see is a lot more like, focus on the business, focus on what's actually important. Like, this is where they make their money, and it's a lot more like, you can tell that it's commercial, tech and commercial.
Yeah, it still has some of these Silicon Valley startup elements to it, but yeah, it's definitely all about business. And this is where players can find, the offices they want to get to, the shops where you can buy ship components, ship weapons, mining equipment, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've tried to reflect that as well in the art. Like, it's very serious mode, we could say. It's like, you can tell where it's making their money, where the money's made. Yeah, and then when you transition then out, like when you head from the Commons, there was a promenade. The sky bridge is definitely one of my favorite things. You feel like this space that you now arrive at, because you come through transit and you sort of come up into this bubble, like this dome, right? But the sky bridge puts you right out there, and like if there's a storm outside, if there's night, if there's anything going on out there, we're not letting you forget about that part of it on the journey to the promenade.
Yeah, unlike the promenade, I mean, that's not so serious. That's all about having a good time, all about nightlife, entertainment.
Yeah, and I think the art sort of reflects that as well. Like, there's structure, but the promenade is like the creative, let your hair down space for both the people of New Babbage. But I think that's also how we felt about it when we made it. A bit more relaxed.
A bit more relaxed, a bit more crazy. I mean, just look at all these lasers shooting and particle rain, and I mean, you guys really had a field day,
Yeah, but I think it's important, like when you look at Microtech, which is like, you go outside and there's going to be a blizzard, you can see 2 meters in front of you if you're lucky, and then it's important to have this space as well, like a contrast to that. You're coming in here and there's like palm trees, giant ice sculpture, waterfalls. That contrast is just so cool for me.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see these really hostile environments on the outside, and you're inside one of those giant domes having a drink at Wally's with your friends. I think that's a quite cool experience.
And then you have like the Spire Grand is kind of the contrast to that, where like all of the designs are very elegant, but they're not spectacular. Like, they're very civilian and classic, and that's like a very nice contrast. Like a lot of earthly materials like marble, wooden floors. It feels like a habitation area to me.
Yeah, the rest of the landing zone, everything is a lot more, sleek, high tech, and I think it's quite cool when you wake up in your bed and you can look out the window and you're at the top of the highest building in New Babbage. It's quite nice.
I think that's a kind of like a hallmark, the trademark of New Babbage is definitely that we're always putting you in a very, very high-tech interior. You'll see the outside as well, because this planet is wild, and you're not going to get that full experience if you're just locked inside and only feel the exterior when you actually go out there. I want you to feel that all the time.
I think that's one of the main things that we got right. The contrast between exterior and interior, but also not feeling disconnected from the exteriors, because we have so many windows and glass domes quite happy with it.
Yeah, like we have a planet, we say, okay, what's a planet? And then we say, okay, for the landing zone, let's do the opposite of that. Like, we're gonna have palm trees, we're gonna have the beach vibe. It's a very cool contrast to go for. Well, Fred, it's been very nice chatting to you about New Babbage.
Hey, it's been my pleasure.
Yes, it has. Bye, Fred.
Bye-bye.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that like the personal inner thought and personal inventory systems from last week, Building Blocks is freeing our designers up to experiment with new and innovative ways to interact with the universe around you. And that when New Babbage comes online in Alpha 3.9, Star Citizens everywhere will have a new place to call home. Now we'll be back in about a month with more ISC, but until then, be sure to check out Star Citizen Live and Calling All Devs on Twitch and YouTube respectively. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Take care, everyone, and be safe.